You can't stop me! Do you know who I am? Senator Alex Padilla's voice cracked with rage as security pinned him against the wall, his face contorted in a mask of fury. Outside, just feet away, Vice President JD Vance stood calmly at a podium, his voice cutting through the air like a blade. It seems some prefer the theater of confrontation over the hard work of solutions. The California sun was bright and unforgiving, beating down on the rows of cameras and reporters assembled on the tarmac of a regional logistics center. The air was thick with tension, a mixture of jet fuel and political anticipation. This was enemy territory, and everyone knew it. Vice President JD Vance had chosen this spot deliberately. It was a place of commerce and order, a stark contrast to the chaos he had come to address. Standing behind a podium, bearing the vice presidential seal, Vance looked out at the press corps, his expression one of calm, unwavering resolve. He was a long way from the Rust Belt towns of Ohio, but the message he carried was for the entire nation. For too long, Vance began, his voice steady and measured. The American people have been fed a diet of excuses. They've been told that a secure border is an impossible dream. They've been told that enforcing our laws is somehow immoral. They've been told that the chaos consuming our communities is a compassionate alternative to order. He paused, letting the words hang in the dry air. I am here today to tell you that is a lie. It is a lie concocted in the halls of power by politicians who benefit from the chaos. It is a lie sold by leaders who lack the courage to do their duty. Miles away, in a plush satellite office, Senator Alex Padilla watched the broadcast on a massive screen, his knuckles white as he gripped the armrest of his leather chair. Every word from the vice president was a direct shot, a personal insult delivered on his home turf. Unbelievable! Padilla seethed to his young, nervous chief of staff, Marcus. He waltzes into asterisk my asterisk state, into asterisk my asterisk backyard, and has the audacity to lecture me? To lecture California. He hasn't mentioned you by name, Senator. Marcus offered weakly, already sensing the storm brewing. He doesn't have to. Padilla shot back, rising from his chair to pace in front of the screen. He's talking about sanctuary cities. He's talking about failed leadership. Who the hell do you think he's talking about? He's talking about me. On the screen, Vance continued, his argument building with methodical precision. Leadership is not about creating a crisis for the cameras. It's not about encouraging lawlessness to score political points. True leadership is about creating safety and stability for the citizens you swore an oath to protect. It's about having the moral clarity to call disorder by its name and the strength to restore order where it has collapsed. That was it, the final straw. Padilla's face flushed with a deep, crimson rage. His political identity was built on the very policies Vance was now dismantling with cold, hard logic on national television. He saw his authority being challenged, his narrative being stolen from him. No, not here, not today. Padilla snarled. He turned to Marcus, his eyes blazing with a reckless fire. Get the car. We're going down there. Marcus froze. Sir? To the event? It's a secure location. We can't just... I am a United States Senator. Padilla roared, jabbing a finger at his own chest. That's a federal facility. He's on my turf. I have every right to be there. We are going to confront him. I'm not going to let him get away with this. But sir, the optics. The optics will be me, standing up for my state against this outsider. Padilla grabbed his suit jacket. He wants a fight. He's about to get one. Let's go, now. The short drive was a blur of frantic phone calls and simmering fury. Padilla was a man possessed, convinced that a public shouting match was his only path to victory. He imagined himself bursting onto the scene, seizing a microphone and heroically denouncing the vice president in a clip that would lead every newscast. Back at the press conference, Vance was taking questions, handling the hostile press with an almost unnerving ease. He was calm, articulate, and utterly immovable. As Padilla's black SUV screeched to a halt near a service entrance to the building behind the stage, he and his small entourage of aides practically sprinted towards the door. They burst inside, into a cool, sterile hallway, the muffled sound of Vance's voice audible from outside. They were immediately met by a wall of black suits. Two Secret Service agents and three private security guards stepped forward, forming an impassable barrier. "I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I'm going through," Padilla announced, his voice filled with an arrogance that expected total compliance. The lead agent, a man with a jaw of granite and eyes that had seen everything, didn't even blink. "Sir, this is a restricted area. I'm going to have to ask you to remain here." Padilla scoffed. "I don't think you understand. I am the senior United States Senator from this state. This is my state. I'm not remaining here. Step aside." He tried to push past the agent. The agent didn't move. He put a firm hand on the senator's chest. "Sir, you are not authorized to be in this area. It is a secure zone." The public humiliation of being blocked, of being denied, sent Padilla over the edge. The carefully constructed facade of a dignified public servant shattered into a million pieces. "Get your hands off me," he shrieked, his voice echoing in the concrete hallway. He shoved the agent's hand away. "You can't stop me. Do you know who I am?" This was the moment chaos erupted. As Padilla tried to bull rush the line, the security team moved in. It wasn't gentle. One guard grabbed his arm, another took his shoulder. Padilla began to struggle, twisting and flailing like a cornered animal. His aides, including Marcus, looked on in horror. Some pulling out their phones to record, unsure of what else to do. "Let go of me. This is an outrage. An assault." Padilla screamed, his face contorted in a mask of pure, undiluted rage. Security guards swarmed him, pinning him against the wall to control his outburst. The chaotic, desperate scene was a stark portrait of a man completely losing control. Outside, at the podium, a single word came through Vance's earpiece from his security chief. "Contact!" Vance didn't flinch. He didn't turn. He simply paused his answer, took a slow, deliberate sip of water, and placed the bottle back down. The reporters, sensing a shift, leaned forward. Vance looked directly into the main camera, his expression unchanged. "It seems," he said, his voice dropping slightly, becoming even more powerful in its quiet intensity. "Some prefer the theater of confrontation over the hard work of solutions." He let the statement sink in. He didn't need to explain the commotion happening just out of sight. He didn't need to name names. He had made his entire point about the nature of his opposition without ever raising his voice. "They would rather shout in a hallway than stand here before you and the American people and answer for their failures," he continued, his gaze sweeping across the press corps. "That, ladies and gentlemen, is the very crisis of leadership I came here to address. A crisis of unserious people who choose tantrums over truth." He had won. It was a knockout blow delivered with surgical precision. While Senator Padilla was being physically restrained in a hallway, his meltdown, a testament to his impotence, Vice President Vance stood before the nation, the very picture of strength, composure, and presidential authority. He had not only predicted the chaos, he had allowed his opponent to embody it. The images from that day were unforgettable. A frantic, struggling senator on one side, and a calm, resolute vice president on the other. In that single explosive moment, who do you think truly revealed their character? Let us know your thoughts. And for more stories of conviction and consequence, make sure to subscribe.